Hi, I'm Brian Silvey. I'm Winston Pro Ambassador. I also help with a lot of the development of the Spey rods for Winston. We've come up with a new AIR Microspey. We're going to talk more about some of the changes we've done with the new rods. The difference between the new AIR Microspey and the old Microspey, one of the major changes that I did was we changed the handle. This is the old Microspey, and this will be the new one. And so it's a little bit longer on the bottom handle. And then I tapered the handle where it's almost even all the way through, where this has a little bit thicker taper in here. This one's even. And the reason why I did that is to be able to grip anywhere I'd want on the handle, this upper handle. I think it's real important to kind of have different points where I could grab when I'm out using my trout spey. And then just for fishing purposes, it's nice to have a little smaller grip right in here to hold the rod, especially if you're twitching the rod or, you know, just lifting up, trying to get a little bit of tension on your line. I think this is better to have just more of an even tapered handle, especially with some of these new trout spey lines we have that are a lot shorter head, so our grip is a little bit tighter now than having it out here a little bit farther. So that's one of the major changes on the new Microspey. The original Microspey was done probably 10 years ago now, and it's a little softer action, I would say, in the lower half of the rod, and the tip is quite a bit softer. Where the new Microspey is a little bit quicker action rod with that AIR technology. It has a little faster recovery, and the butt section is a little bit faster, a little stiffer maybe, just because if you wanted to twitch the rod tip or bounce it, it has a little more recovery and kind of give you that action. Or stripping, you know, you got a little more action to it. But it's a little bit faster action rod, but still has that same Winston feel and flex, just has a faster recovery than maybe the original Microspey. So the new models we have for the AIR Microspey, the first one is a 10-foot 9-inch 2-weight. We started calling it the tactical 2-weight. And just because you can fish this rod super short, kind of medium and even long, but it was really great fishing it short. So it's 10 foot 9 inches. It's going to be great for catching those 12 to 15 inch fish. It's got a lot of feel, so it's going to be fun to get those smaller fish on this rod also. So the grain weight for the 10 foot 9 inch 2-weight, this throws 180 grain Scandi and a 210 grain Skagit. And you want to keep it with those shorter trout spey type lines. You don't want to go out with any long lines, especially with this 10 foot 9 inch 2-weight. But that's the grain weight for the 10 foot 9 inch 2-weight. The next rod in the series is 11 foot 3-weight in the Micro AIR 2. This rod's 11 foot 3, and it's going to be a great rod for throwing Skagits and Scandis. You're going to be able to throw a little bit heavier sink tips and a little bit heavier weighted sculpins or woolly buggers to get a little bit deeper than the 2-weight. It's going to have a little more length for mending and a little more line control, and you can throw it a little more distance. But it still has that great action. It's going to be fun with smaller fish, up to a little bit larger fish. But it's just going to be a great another addition to the Microspeys series. So Microspey AIR 2 11 foot 3-weight, the grain windows for this is 210 grain Scandi and a 240 grain Skagit, work ideal on the 11 foot 3-weight. And then the last rod is we're going to have an 11 foot 3-inch 4-weight on the Microspey AIR 2, and this is going to be your big kind of fly rod, heavy sink tip if you needed to, which 10 foot at T11. You know, you're going to fish Skagits and Scandis on this also, but this is going to be more of your heavier streamer rod. You know, fishing T11, maybe even T14 if somebody really wanted to. But it's got a little bit more butt section, so you're going to be able to land some of the bigger fish with this rod, but still have good control of your line and even catch any size of fish. But that's the 11.3 4-weight. The grain windows on this rod is 270 grains to 300 grains. So 270 being the Scandi line and 300 grains being your Skagit.